I need you to rotate it. I don't know why it turned on.
We are live.
I know. Boom. I don't know what happened. I honestly don't know what happened.
Let's start.
We're live.
Okay. Hey y'all. I'm Shemeka Shaw, and we are here to introduce the Louisville Tenants Union. The Tenants Union is a tenant-led organization that is dedicated to protecting and fighting alongside poor and working class tenants. Um, as an impacted resident, my mission is to create housing for every tenant in Louisville that is safe, decent, and permanently affordable. We believe that housing is a human right, not a commodity. We fight for an end to all evictions and for community control of housing through the building of tenant power. We have uncovered dozens of complaints against supported slumlord Kathy Strong and her employer, property management company CT and Associates. Hence why we're standing in Shepherd Square in front of CT and Associates Group's office. The Louisville Tenants Union launched our first campaign 2 weeks ago to address mistreatment by Metro Louisville Housing Authority and their property management company CT and Associates. And on Tuesday, March 29th, the Louisville Tenants Union received an open records request from Louisville Metro Housing Authority regarding tenant complaints against the CT and Associates groups and Kathy Strong in specific. According to Metro Housing Authority records, from January of 2020 to March of 2022, there were 85 complaints specifically against CT and Associates and Kathy Strong. 29 complaints specifically against Kathy Strong's behavior, which regards from verbal mistreatment to neglect. So residents, their specific complaints, they include they want to move to another scatter site property that is not under Kathy Strong. And I need people to understand that CT and Associate Groups manages at least 760 of the scattered site units that Metro Housing has. So they have like 2,000 scattered site units, and these are units, multifamily units, not one little house, but units, multifamily. Um, C10 Associate manages 760 of those at least. So our tenants are asking to be moved to properties that are not managed by C10 Associate and Kathy Strong. Kathy has cost me over $700 in water costs due to her not sending anyone out to fix the problem which she neglected. And these are tenant complaints specifically. I have mold, water running, and it smells awful. I want another apartment, and Kathy should be fired. Shepherd Square staff has been rude and unprofessional. In the past, spoke with Kathy Strong. Kathy is suspicious. Do not speak with Kathy. We are asking the Louisville community to support these tenants in their request for a meeting with Louisville Metro Housing Authority Director Lisa Osenka with the following demands: the removal of Regional Director Manager Kathy Strong, either through termination or the cancellation of CT Group's contract. The rehousing of Louisville Metro Housing Authority resident Dominic Harris into a safe and decent home that is not managed by the CT Associate Group. You can follow us on social media, sign our petition to get Kathy Strong fired, and join us to fight with your neighbors for tenants' rights. We will now introduce Louisville Metro Housing Authority tenant.
My name is Richard Faulkner, and I'm a tenant in Shepherd Square. And my thing is, I've had personal problems with Miss Strong. She basically told me that she could talk to me any kind of way that she wanted to. During our meeting, I had to stop her from screaming at me. She stopped and started screaming at me again. And I had to explain to her, I'm not your son and I don't work for you. You don't get to talk to me like that. And her response was, yes, I can. This lady has become a tyrant. She thinks she can treat people any way she wants to. I mean, homeless people are treated better than the people that live here who are trying to live and pay bills and do things the right way. It's ridiculous that they built this new place here and it's still ran by the same old tactics of treating people less than people. We all pay our taxes, and we should be treated as such human beings and not animals the way they treat us. It's ridiculous, and this needs to end. And Kathy Strom is a band leader for most of this. As you've heard, she's had lots of complaints about her reaction with people and how she doesn't pay attention to things. Our senior citizens building, they want to put security guards in this building where there's been no problems. But in the next corridor where a lot of the shootings are had, they don't want to put guards over there to watch that. It's time to change the way this system works. You got a nice new facility, you need to change that. It's time. It's this treatment that people had in public housing is ridiculous and it needs to stop.
Stop it.
Stop it. And we start off by getting rid of Kathy Strong.
Yeah.
Fire Kathy. Make the call.
Make the call. Fire Kathy.
Fire her.
Yes, how you doing? My name is Dominique Hurst, and this lady right here has wronged me. She has wronged my kids. She has had us separated for over a year. We have lived in mode. I have been sick more than once. I'm still fighting. This lady has evicted me, but she hasn't put me out of my apartment legally because she know I have not did anything wrong. She has had my mail turned off, which is all illegal. She has lost my illegal documents. They have passed my stuff around and said nothing to me. Like, this woman is so nasty, and I'm sorry that I'm about to say this, but I hate her so much. Like, she has caused so much just un just unease, and you know what I'm saying. She just made me and my family and my kids so depressed, oppressed, stressed. This woman right here has to go. We need her fired, and I'm going to fight until she does get fired. She does not deserve to work for Louisville Metro Housing Authority. Her or the other people that's behind her, backing her, the ones that's under her and the ones that's over her. They know their names. I don't have to say that.
Yes.
They need to be fired. They do not need to work for Louisville Metro Housing Authority. They do not need to represent us. I will not move under her name. I do not want to rent under her name. Right now, I am still fighting to live somewhere. I am bouncing around from pillar to post with my kids right now. So, and it's because of this lady right here, and she knows it. Fire her. I'm going to fight to get her fired.
Today.
CT and Associates.
Make the call.
Make the
the whole
call.
crew.
Make the call. Fire Kathy Strong.
Yes. Fire the whole crew.
This is ridiculous. She needs to go.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day. Appreciate you coming out.
You all want to do individual interviews?
I do need spelling of people's names. So if you wouldn't mind, could you say and spell your first and last name for me?
Yes, my name is Dominique Harris. DOMINIC.
So, in summary, the Louisville Tenants Union, a fairly newly formed offshoot of several other tenants' rights groups, is claiming that the named landlord, who you have seen on this poster on a number of occasions, Kathy Strom, is violating tenants' rights. We'll listen in a little bit more.
Actually, it wasn't even ready to move in. She moved me in under false pretenses. It had real life mold and water leaks and everything. A main water leak actually outside of the complex. And she moved me in, and I started to smell it. And after the smell came, you know, it started coming out like through my walls. Like, my cabinets is infested with roaches. My refrigerator barely works. It's infested with roaches. You know, my whole apartment is infested with roaches. And it's not just me, it's people that's out there that live around me, and they're dying. There's a lady that's out there sick right now that's dying because of this lady right here. She is.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask, with the formation of this new union, how are you hoping that this will make change?
Oh, we're making a change. We're making a change right now. And I love all of these people right here. They've been supporting me and everybody else from day one. I feel like this right here. If Miss Kathy and CT and Associates can't do their job, there's people that can't, that would love to represent us. And we would love to have them to represent us because they're beautiful. This woman right here is ugly. Don't y'all think so? Yeah, she's ugly. And she does ugly work. And it's not just us out there. It's older people. It's older people that she has living in bug infested apartments and places. And these people is living in these buildings and they look like they're jails and hospitals. These people, these older people, not just myself, does not deserve to live like that. It ain't right. You know, that's not right. And these people know that. They hang the phone up on you. They tell you what they're not going to do. And you know, I'm only 36. I've been dealing with this. I've never been through anything like this. I've never been stressed. I've never been oppressed. I've never been depressed. I've never been separated away from my kids. I'm not a bad mother. And right now, I am going to continue to fight for my kids, me, and these older people that do not deserve to get treated wrong by Miss Kathy Strong, CT and Associates, and everyone else that knows. Fire Kathy Strong, make the call. Fire Kathy Strong, make the call. It's time for her to go.
Hey, sir, did you want to come up to the mic for us? If you could say and spell your first and last name, that'd be great.
My name is Richard Faulkner, and it's RICHARDFAULKNER. And I'm a tenant of this building right across the street. And I'm locked up in there as if it is a jail. We have an upstairs where we can go sit, but we're only allowed to use it 2 hours a day. Wow. They give us hours from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. As you can see, there's no shade up there. So nobody wants to go up there until late evening. And we're only allowed to be up there until 8 o'clock. And I was asked, why did I want to sit out at night? Because it's too hot during the day, and that's when it cools off. This is a senior citizens building, and this building is ran as if it is a jail. They've got 2 doors that they call a front door and a back door, but none of them lead to my apartment. Once I get in those 2 doors, I have to go through another mechanical door. If that door doesn't work, then I can't get in my apartment. And if they're not here, then that's a wait till the next day. And if it's over the weekend, then I gotta wait till Monday to get into my apartment, which is ridiculous treatment. It's ridiculous treatment for somebody who is trying to live life and pay their rent. And it's, I asked the lady, what time are we supposed to go to bed around here? Yeah. Because there's so many rules. We can't sit out in front of the building. We can't sit in the back of the building. There's a park across the street. They don't allow us in that.
It ain't right.
We're not allowed. If we want to barbecue, we got to go over here to this empty lot over here across from the school, from the Zeke school. And there's absolutely nothing. There's no facilities, no benches, no nothing. It's just an empty lot. And that's where we're told to go if we want to grill. It's ridiculous to treat people like that who are trying to live by the rules and pay their bills. Yes. And then you turn around and treat me like I'm an inmate.
We're not animals.
I'm not. I need to live just like everybody else lives. I know there other apartments have rules, but every rule that they have here is against me. Only thing I'm allowed to do is sit in my apartment, and that's not right.
What would you say to the housing authority if they could hear you today?
Well, they've heard me, and they're ignoring me. I've put in petitions, and they've ignored them. Then I did it again. They gave us part of it because we wanted the upstairs because they didn't want to allow us to sit outside our front door, or what they call in our back door. It's ridiculous that people are treated like this. We want to live just like they live where they're at. They don't have all these restrictions. You don't have all these, hope you got a house, but you don't have all these restrictions that says you can't do anything. We can't do anything.
How are you hoping this new union will make change?
I'm hoping that it will change the whole entire system of LMHA because the whole, not just Kathy Strong, this whole system is screwed up. These people have been working with LMHA for
years.
years, and they retire from this because it's an easy job.
Yep.
And this
Mhm.
sign
But-
speaks for itself.
All of them,
Housing
they
is a human
they
right.
excuse my,
Housing is a human
I
right.
can't say it.
Don't do
But
it.
they,
You can say it on live stream.
I'm gonna be realistic, but it's ridiculous that we are being treated that we are people, we are human beings. We love life just like they love life, but they're taking all that away from us.
Right.
We have nothing. If you live in under LMHA, you have no rights. They come and they give, and they come right back and take it away. And it's time for that to stop. They built all these new, places here, all these beautiful apartments, but it's still ran like 1969.
Come on, Mr.
This is 2022.
Yeah.
Everything must change,
Come on.
Yes.
and it's time for LMHA to change.
Yeah.
Clear the whole board.
Clear 'em out.
All right, I got a question. I got a question for you guys. I interviewed you a couple of weeks ago, and you showed us some pretty horrendous pictures from your apartment, Dominique.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to know from the two of you if there was any response to your complaint of a few weeks ago from LMHA or from this landlord, because the pictures that you showed us were extraordinary pictures of mold
Yeah.
and extraordinary pictures of unlivable conditions,
Yeah.
which I posted on my live stream. So have you received any response as a result of that?
No, ma'am.
Complaint?
This woman, Kathy Strom,
And her
and
team.
CT and Associates and the head people have not contacted me on my situation. And they know I have kids. They know I am not financially stable right now to move to help myself. No, ma'am. This monster right here, she's not going to contact us. She's going to keep sitting where she's sitting at and doing what she's doing and denying us of our tenant rights.
Okay, and
that's the
have
reason.
you filed a formal complaint with LMHA about this particular landlord, and have you received a response to that?
Yes, ma'am. I took all the legal steps that I needed to take by calling my landlord more than once and advising her that I lived in mode and my apartment was infested. I've had the health inspector come out to call her. I've had a couple people to come out and call. If even her main maintenance man documented that my apartment was unsafe to live in. This lady told me almost a year ago that she was going to put me and my kids into a hotel. She's never did that. So no, my answer to your question is no, ma'am.
You also shared a number of text messages and other communications with the landlord, which are basically supporting what you are telling us here. So I'm just going back to the same question. No response from any of them. No response from this landlord or the agency that's over this whole thing. For you, sir?
Yeah, I did. I had been working with a lady before, and I had been working with this woman before. And when we did the thing at the meeting, 2 days later, she contacted me and asked me about what my problem was. But I explained to her the problems, and she gave it to her supervisor, and then she gave it to Kathy Strom, and Kathy Strom has been allowed to knock it down and leave it like it is.
Okay.
She's not going to change it, not by any way.
No,
Shameka, you wanted to add something?
that's the last question.
We've
Shamika's gonna close it
not
up.
received a response from Kathy Strom and
Nothing.
CT and Associates, but I did get a call and had a conversation with Louisville Metro Housing Authority's Director of Housing, Director of Property Management, to be precise. I'm not gonna say her name, but I did have a conversation with her about what the tenants wanted, and what they wanted was to be moved and not a Kathy Strong location. So we did have conversations as far as that, but other than that, nothing really.
Well, you requested a meeting with Lisa.
Yes. Oh, and I did with the Director of Housing. I did request a meeting with Lisa Osanka. I was informed that she was sent to me on Lisa Osanka's behalf, But that's not good enough. We want to talk to Lisa because we want to talk to the person that actually has the power to do some things, because we've been talking to all of these other people for over a year and you've not done nothing. So therefore, you can't have the power to do something now that we've been asking you to do for over a year. So we need to talk to Lisa Osanka.
And I've been amplifying you for over a year, and I'm interested in knowing, since you requested that meeting over a year ago, have you received any correspondence, any response from Lisa Osanka or
No.
anyone pertaining to her?
I mean, we've received a response again from her director of housing, the director of property management, the person that could have done something last year when she talked to us per our last email. But she doesn't remember any of that when we had a whole news story in live in October, but she doesn't remember none of that. So I specifically asked her again, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to Lisa Osanka. So at this point, the residents have no more communications with you. At this point, you have to communicate with me. And until you're telling us that we're going to have a meeting with Lisa Osanka, there's no more communication.
All right.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We appreciate you guys.
Shamika, will you spell your name for me?
SHEMAEKA
And your last name?
Shemeka Shaw.
Perfect. Thank you.
SHAW.
Thank you all.
All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate you so much. And y'all, if you are dealing with issues with this particular landlord or with LMHA, Shemeka Shaw is a good contact for that. So feel free to reach out to her. She also is the woman who founded Broken Hearted Homes last year, 2 years ago, I should say, with the activity of the evictions and the protests. Shemeka was a huge advocate for folks who were being evicted, and so she's now, this Louisville Tenants Union is her amplification platform. So thank you so much for joining us today, and I think I'm going to be seeing you again in a few hours.